No matter how much you read, there are still some courses that will still be calling you back and saying that you have not read me enough, you have not read me enough. But you can't listen to that voice, because at this stage you have to practice your questions. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bimisola Adeyemi. I am a lawyer that took the CFA Level 1 exam in August, and I really want to share my experience on here. I honestly wish there were a lot of videos like this when I was taking the exam to guide me, which is why I'll be sharing my personal experience. Please note, this is my personal experience alone. If you happen to be watching this video, then you probably already know that there is a curriculum and then there are other third-party material that help you prepare for the examination. The most popular ones, which I am personally aware of and which helped me prepare for the exam, is Schweizer and IFT videos. Now, for my CFA Level 1 exam, I strictly read Schweizer. When I say I read Schweizer for the exam, Schweizer was my primary reading material. I made references to the curriculum and IFT videos when I needed to. There are a number of topics in Schweizer that are not as detailed, so I would watch IFT videos to understand better. So my reading format was to read Schweizer, do the questions at the end of Schweizer, go to the curriculum, answer the examples, and answer the end of chapter questions. Anytime I'm confused, I go to IFT videos and watch all over again till I understand. And if I still do not understand, I contact a friend to explain to me. Now let's get into things I think I did right. So number one, I read each topic at least twice. First reading was to understand and familiarize myself with the concept. As I mentioned, I am a lawyer that took the CFA Level 1 exam, and I definitely had to put in twice the effort. The second reading was to further cement those concepts and to enable me remember them in the exam. Number two, I tried as much as possible to familiarize myself with the calculator. There are two types of calculators that are allowed for the CFA exam. Trust me, if you know a lot of those functions, they can save you a lot of time in the examination. You're probably spending 2 minutes solving a question when you could effectively solve that same question for less than 20 seconds. So if you ask me, I would say it's a must that you familiarize yourself with the calculator. Number three, I stayed consistent. We probably already know that the CFE exam is very, very time consuming and requires a lot of your time. It's really non-negotiable. You have to put in the hours. I mean, there are a lot of topics, so really you don't have any option. You have to put in the work. Number four, I joined study groups, and I believe those study groups helped me prepare well for the exam. Now, you might think you understand something, but hearing somebody else's perspective to that same thing you think you understand helps you further solidify the concepts and helps you better understand it. Remember, there were some questions I remember just because I solved them together with a colleague. Now, I know we are not all the same and we study differently. Trust me, I also used to think that I do not like study groups until CFA Level 1 exam stretched me. This exam will stretch you and you find yourself doing things that you ordinarily wouldn't do. Where I said I had to read topics at least twice, I'm sure there were a lot of people that probably read the topic once and they were good to go. So you just have to find what works for you. Questions. Yes, you have to study a lot of questions. You have to practice a lot of questions. There is no escaping this. This is the only way you will familiarize yourself with the kind of questions that they would bring out in the exam. So you need to practice as many questions as you can. Practice. Keep practice. No matter how much you read, there are still some courses that will still be calling you back and saying that you have not read me enough, you have not read me enough. But you can't listen to that voice, because at this stage you have to practice your question. You should only reference your notes when need be, and don't waste too much time referencing your notes, because at this stage it's about application, not about theory anymore. It's about approach. My last point, formula sheets. A lot of these third-party materials have formula sheets that you can pick up and read, but personally I created my personal formula sheet that helped me prepare for the exam. So during my second reading, if I came across any formula, I would write them down. I created my own formula sheet, and then I also wrote things I believe that could easily slip away from me and could easily slip away from my brain. So I wrote them. I also think that the fact that I created my own formula sheet by myself, it helped me master those formulas better. I created the sheet in a way that it was topic by topic. So if I came across any formula, I would write it under each topic. So effectively, a day to exam, I picked up my formula sheet, and that was what I used to revise for the exam, because this way it would help me prepare for every topic as if I had read all over again, when effectively I haven't. When I say a day to exam, I didn't mean that I just started studying those formulas a day to exam. Of course, I've been familiarizing myself with those formulas. As a matter of fact, I knew most of them at that stage. When I say a day to exam, I mean strictly revision. It was strictly a way for me to revise. And when I was doing questions, the fact that I already had my formula sheet, I just used to make reference to it when it be. So if I was approaching a question and then I did not remember the formula, I'll just pick up my formula sheet and then look at it again. That way, I'm already mastering the formulas as many formulas as I could master. Now, so some of the things I did that I don't think I would be doing in my preparation for level 2. Number one, I wasted so much time making extensive notes. So during my first reading, I was making a lot of notes, and Now that I look back at it, I think that really, really wasted my time. I thought it helped me grasp the concept better because, like I said, my first reading was to help me understand because I was coming across a lot of these languages for the first time. Because now that I look back and I think of some of the reasons why the exam stressed me so much, I actually think that jotting was part of it. Because if I didn't have to make so many notes, I don't think I would have been as stressed as I was. Also, I attended New Frontiers Learning Center. Shout out to them because the class really helped. However, I do not think I would beat myself up if I missed any class. I would remind myself that I had IFT videos to watch and I would give myself more grace. If you have watched to this point, you are definitely a CFA Level 1 candidate and I'm wishing you the very best in your exam. Fighting! Really, really hope you found one or two things from this video helpful and you will be taking them back to implement them. Thank you very much for watching. Be free to ask me any questions you have in the comments and trust me, I would answer them. Bye!